Welcome back, everyone. I know it's been a while since I've uploaded, and really it's just not much has been going on. Just kind of a lull, that holiday season, stuff like that. We just got busy and just didn't really have time to film a whole lot. But I figured I'd give you an update on the wheat field. As you can see, we got a full sprout. The wheat field's doing about what I expected it to do, being no chemical fertilizer it's been put down on it. It's just doing everything all naturally. We got a full sprout. It's nice and green, as you can see right here. The rows could have been a little bit straighter, but I was paying attention to the drill and more than making straight rows. Next year we'll shoot for better. But let me turn the camera around and I'll give you a better close-up of what the wheat's actually doing. The wheat's looking really good for being planted. I mean, this camera really doesn't do it very good justice. But it does look a lot better than it does on camera. The wheat looks like it's a little bit behind. Partially that's because there's no fertilizer or chemical down on it. And I'm going to try to stick to that as hard as I can. I'm just flat out going to refuse to put anything down on it for this first year at least. Just because I want to get a good baseline of what this wheat will actually do on its own. There's some other fields that were planted roughly about the same time that look a lot better, but from what I've been told is they were planted a lot shallower than what I did. This wheat was planted probably about 2 to 3 inches deep. My whole philosophy behind that is if we do have a dry spring, those roots will be a little bit deeper, closer to the water that's still deeper in the soil. I don't know if that's really going to work or not, but it sounded right and it sounded good, so that's what I went with. If you've been following along on Facebook, you've seen that I drug home a couple of new pieces of equipment for me that'll help with our corn. So let's jump over and go take a look and see what we got. As y'all remember, the 1928D John Deere project. Well, as I hinted in previous videos, that there's a parts tractor that we had to go get. Well, that parts tractor's here. We're not quite sure which one we're going to use as the primary tractor that we're going to restore. Really, they're both parts tractors at this point, but one's going to get the other one's parts. This is the newest 28, which you can see still has the original silkscreen John Deere emblems on the hood. It's not a bad tractor. Dad pulled the covers off and said it looked pretty good inside. I haven't seen it yet. Somebody put an aftermarket automotive steering on it. But it has a lot of really good parts still on it. Primarily what I'm wanting is the steel wheels off of it. This is kind of neat. We've seen how they filled the front wheels with concrete to kind of weigh them down. That way it kind of stayed in the furrow a little bit better. But other than that, it's got decent sheet metal. Had a tree growing up in it. That's typical of fence row. And for the people who are interested, here's the serial number tag. Serial number 60600. And the original one is 63564. I know some people like knowing these things and kind of seeing if they got any ones that are close in serial number. But nonetheless, if you've seen the Facebook post, I had some new pieces of equipment. So if you would have bought this tractor here, this 1928D John Deere, in 1928, you would have likely went and got the John Deere 5C plow, which I managed to pick one up. It needs some work. I don't know if I'll be able to use it this year, just because I got a laundry list of stuff I got to do, not only to the plow, but also to other things. But let's kind of go over what we got. One's been taken apart. The tail wheel The previous owner had started working on it and started rebuilding the trip mechanism. Still needs a little bit of work there, and at some point in the time, I'm going to guess probably sometime in the late 50s, somebody had attempted to rig this plow up for hydraulics, and it clearly didn't work. So that's going to have to get cut off. It has some extra parts, some coulters that go with it. It is missing a few pieces, but I do plan on doing some film and a video series on this as I'm restoring it. So I'll try to, as I release the videos, I'll try to compile them all into a playlist. So when it's all done, you can just go back through and watch every video. Somebody added an extra long tongue to it as well. I have another tongue that I'm probably going to have to use as parts to make this one a little bit better, but well, as you can see, I have just about everything for it. But all right, on to the planter. All right, and this is the horse-drawn two-row planter. From what I've been able to find, it is a Deere Mincer, which I don't know if I pronounced that correctly. Maybe somebody will correct me in the comments. It's pretty well complete, minus the wood and the tongue, which, due to many years of just rot and sitting outside, it kind of fallen away. I know it's a little bit ambitious, but my goal is to be able to have this ready to use here in a couple months to try to plant our corn. Luckily, it came with 2 brand new cans for the seed boxes. It is missing the lids. And from what information I've been able to gather from just online and some friends who are familiar with horse-drawn equipment, this is roughly late 1800s, early 1900s. I don't know where to really look to get a definite answer, but as soon as I figure it out and find out, I will post an update. But I'm going to try to film as much of this restoration process as I can. And the 5C plow, the 28D, and this planter, I'm hoping to have at Pawnee for the 2027 show, which they're going to be featuring John Deere. And so I'll have quite a lineup there, hopefully, and be an interesting piece. Yeah, let's kind of look at these. Yeah, these cans are been completely remade. Hopefully I'm going to take all this apart and clean it up and free everything up. The gearing doesn't look bad. It's a lot better than that 60s model John Deere wheat drill that I used. Those teeth were pretty wore out. But other than that, this is kind of the walk around of the newly acquired equipment. That's going to be it for today. Maybe the next few videos will actually start disassembling it and start taking it on. I don't know if I'm going to be able to go back to weekly videos again, just depending on time. If anybody knows roughly what year this is, post it in the comments, because I would love to be able to get a pinpoint date of just how old this thing really is. As you've seen, there's a lot of work that needs to be done to both pieces of equipment. Hopefully I can have the corn planter working by middle of March. That's when I expect to plant the sweet corn. So follow along as I race to try to get that thing functional before it's too late, because I really don't want to have to plant all this by hand. If you noticed, the quality of the video is a lot better and the sound's a lot better, mostly because I got a new camera. Let me know down in the comments down below if you like the upgrade and if it's a lot better than it was. And that's going to wrap it up for today. If you like what you've seen, give the video a like. And if you haven't subscribed, please do so. And click that bell icon. That way you get notified every time I upload. Almost forgot. Here in the next week or so, I'm actually going to be ordering my corn seed. And whenever that comes in, we'll kind of go over and show you what I picked and talk to you why I picked it. So, as always, I'd like to thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.